Narrated Ibn Masud, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "He used to take care of us in preaching by selecting a suitable time, so that we may not get bored. He abstained from pestering us with religious talk and knowledge all the time." What I enjoy about this particular hadith is that it kind of highlights how students of knowledge, in a way, can go just so deep into it that we kind of forget that others are like, "Hey man, lighten up a bit." We could get super motivated, and this can make people feel overwhelmed. And it also highlights how some people, they have a threshold, and once that threshold is met, you don't want to overburden people. And sometimes timing really is everything. You can see the opportune moment, and then at other times, you can see that it's just out of place. It makes me think about when I was working at this Puerto Rican restaurant, and in the morning, we have to do our cleaning of the restaurant in case the night shift missed anything upon closing. And the dishwashers are peeling the plantains when they're black for the Maduros recipe, which is sweet plantains, which is my favorite. And I was taking care of the plants, and that was part of my job because there was a bunch of tropical plants inside. And there was a Christian there, and he would constantly preach while we were doing our morning stuff. And he would end up getting into arguments with the Cuban dishwasher, and it's almost like he didn't learn his lesson, He always wanted to preach while we were working, and me, being such a philosophically minded person, was like, this would be awesome if we weren't at work, having a cup of coffee, mulling it out, even, doing it more of a Greek way outside and enjoying nature and just having a great discourse. But these are heavy topics, and because we're moving and we have to re-talk, and we can't stand around and have these very serious conversations. And sometimes when you're that early in the morning and you're rushing kind of to get things done before we open, you don't want to hear that stuff so early. You are still groggy, sleepy, and your latte hasn't kicked in, and then someone's like laying it down thick on you, and you're like, I'm just trying to get through this job. So it came across as pestering a lot. And this would just be a good reminder for those of us who are just so enthusiastic about Islam to know when is the right time. There's a meme as well from, I think it was "Don't Be a Menace to South Central" or "Don't Be a Menace to Society." It was a parody. And there's like a black guy who is like from Africa, or rather he's an American who likes that Black Power African vibe. And he starts preaching about against the white man, kind of like a Malcolm X parody before Malcolm X decided not to be a black supremacist. And the people would be looking at him sideways, like now's not the time. And it was funny because there was people like that in real life. And so no matter which way you look at it, it's like the hadith is reminding us to have situational awareness and to read the room, essentially, to know where we're at and what people can handle and what people can take. It reminds me also about how some math classes are so long, like 3 hours, and I'm like, my brain is not paying attention longer than 45 seconds. And it can just be stretched out too much. So it's interesting to think about, because I love learning about Islam every day, but I do understand that some people, they just need a break, and not every mind is the same. So what a great hadith narrated by Ibn Masud, mashallah, tabarakallah, from the Prophet, peace be upon him.